Hello, Pisces. I'm Moonshine, aka Whitney Moon. Welcome to my channel through the eyes of Whitney. I have no idea what this is about. I didn't even. Well, actually, we will find out if I know what this reading is about. Sometimes I get little hints and cues to readings that are coming up. So we'll see. I'm getting Aaron Gillespie right now. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his last name. Anyways, he is the drummer from Under Oath. And recently, over the last few years, Under Oath has been together for like almost 20 years, if not 20 years. And they had this huge powwow a couple years ago. And they just brought everything to the table because Aaron felt like he was being gaslighted. He felt like Spencer, the main singer of the band, didn't want him singing. He thought that Spencer wanted to be the only singer of the band. And it had been something that had been... bottling up in these guys for a really long time. They're very sensitive guys. Like, you have to understand, men are not sometimes built as burly as maybe what they were back in the day. And Under Oath particularly, they definitely are very feminine energies, okay? None of them, by any means, am I saying are homosexual, okay? That's not what that means. They are all married to women. But it's just they're so sensitive. And gaslight has stayed on the bottom of the deck the entire time. And if anybody would understand gaslighting, it would be Pisces. Because Pisces, they have a tendency to be gaslighted. They have, I don't really know why. I just kind of feel like Pisces get gaslighted. Okay. There's witness underneath it. Okay, we also have disease and the hangman. I'm going to see if anything else comes out. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Okay. So something is definitely evening out. Okay. And there's this huge twist of events that's coming up here. Wow. Okay. So, like I said, we got gaslight, witness, disease, and hangman. I believe that somebody, okay, has been hanging in some very awful energy. Okay. And now somebody has witnessed it. So you, like, honestly, if something's going on with you, okay, and everybody's gaslighting you, so they all think that something else is going on. Again, like Under Oath, right? Like, you might be Aaron and you might be, thinking that something is going on, right? Like, why am I being hidden here? Because Aaron's technically the drummer of the band, right? But he's always done vocals. Always. Since day one, Aaron has been in that band. Spencer hasn't even been in the band since day one. So Aaron has always been in the band, but he's the drums. He's in the back of the stage, right? Which I totally applaud when bands bring their drummers to the front of the stage. I think it's amazing because drummers get left behind, right? And that's a part of this gaslighting. Like, I think somebody left you behind when you weren't supposed to have been left behind, right? And you thought something else was going on. Like, you thought like you were giving somebody the stage because they were doing what was right. But they were actually just hanging you somewhere to die, to be diseased, to be taken over, okay? So this is all a part of some type of hex that got placed on you, okay? And it's in reverse now because there's this storm that's been brewing. So you can imagine that this storm that's brewing, this one would be, hypothetically speaking, okay? This one would be the lie, okay? This one's you, and this one's that other person, okay? And this is the gaslight one here. This is the one that we can't believe that's even there because it shouldn't be. But once it gets all mixed together, shit changes. When it gets all mixed together, what happens? And I can't believe my 2 storm cards came out. Okay, these are the only 2 storm cards in the deck, and they came out. Okay, so, the hangman just fell, and look, now it's in reverse. So, something that you were, literally, all I can say is just like left to die in, like just hanging in, okay, is over with now, because this storm, okay, has created a series of events, okay, that has been able to even the scales out here and expose this vampire for what they truly are, a blood-sucking thief, okay? And this thief has kept you still so then they could feed off of you. Like, you've been getting sick, okay? So put it this way, like if you've been feeling like you've been fighting something off, like if you get the chills recently, or you feel like you've got to have a lot of baths, like you're fighting something off, but there really isn't any colds around, and there's nobody that's around you that's sick. So you're like, this can't be sickness. And especially if you have allergies, they could be feeding off those allergies a little bit more and making it seem like they're allergies, but they're not, right? Because things like to hide under other things, so then you don't notice them. Okay, so now we've got Dana Scully, okay, with Pandora. So this is obviously, Scully obviously has come in. Actually, I was just looking at my sister's collection of all the X-Files. She has all 9, is it 9 seasons or 10? I don't know. I'm not an X-Files expert. But I was just looking at them and I'm wondering why. Well, that's because Dana came out, okay, to be your witness. So they noticed, somebody of authoritative figure somewhere noticed that you are hanging in something, okay, that has been very dangerous. But nobody is noticing. No one's noticing because you're being gaslighted by something else. It's like somebody else is saying that your life is fine, everything's fine, don't worry about it, you're fine, but you're not. You're being sucked alive. Okay, you're being killed. And now this reminds me of this story that I read the other day on the news. It has actually happened back in September 2022. A man in his 80s was arrested for a very small crime, but he had to go to jail. So they put him in the psychiatric ward of the jail, and he got eaten alive by bedbugs and killed. And when the paramedic arrived, I think I told this story already. It just popped back into my head because it's one of those things, like if you've ever had bed bugs, you know what it's like. It's absolutely horrifying. They ruin your fucking life. They ruin everybody around you. Everybody runs away. Like it's fucked. You lose all your furniture. You lose your apartment. You lose everything to bed bugs, all because of somebody else. Like they come from somebody else all the time, right? Somebody that's not paying attention to what's going on. So, and just reading that, when the ambulance worker came in to get the body, she said she was horrified. She had never seen anything. And they took a picture of this man that had thousands of bed bugs all on his chest. And he said his family is now suing because this man made several attempts to tell the jail about the conditions that he was in and that he was being eaten alive. And they just, because he was black, obviously I think they just, maybe you don't see the bites on black skin the way that you do white skin, or the way that you would do gray skin or yellow skin, you know, like maybe they just didn't see the bites, because when you saw the picture, you could barely see the bugs because they're the same color of his chest when they're filled up with blood. Like, it was terrifying to see. And that's like you know how long? He'd been in that jail for 3 months. And there was actually, I believe, a technician that went in there to clean up, and he had said he'd never seen conditions like that either. I believe a judge went into that jail cell and said that they had never seen conditions like that either. So it's like that man slowly was poisoned by those bugs. And if you think about it, right, that's why they say, like, you don't try not to get bitten by anything, especially when you go to a foreign country, because your skin is not used to it. And if that bug can bite you, it's got saliva. It puts something in you, right? West Nile with mosquitoes, like you have to protect your skin, you have to protect your body, and somebody might have hid something, you might have been getting bit by something and they said that it was something else, right? And tried to hide something, because that's the thing, is I believe that bed bugs are part of vampirism, and they come and they suck your blood, and they can't survive without blood. And actually bed bugs can live for like 400 days without feeding on blood. I believe they must be eating each other, because I don't understand how they live. But it's like somebody gaslighted you, and it's like, I don't know why that is like the most horrifying story ever that I've ever read in my life. And it's just like, I don't like that it's coming up, because who the fuck wants to talk about bed bugs? Nobody talks about them, because when you get hit by them, you never want to talk about them again. You never want them in your life again. You never want to experience it again. It's something that is so life-changing. You never go through it again. I didn't sleep for weeks, okay? That's the way that shit happens when it hits like that. And now that's what I'm feeling. Like, I'm feeling like somebody has been diseased, and it could easily have been bites. Like the lady in the unit below me, she gets like centipedes in her house. And what'd she say? Ants, centipedes, because she's ground level. So, and this building is so old that like I've been bitten by a centipede. I don't fucking know if you have, but I have. It was in my towel. In this one house that I lived in, and I was in the basement. It was a really moldy basement. My mom tried her hardest to keep control of the mold down there, because it was like growing in the walls. So we got a dehumidifier, and like it was looking good, and I left my towel on the ground, and then when I put it on my head, there was a centipede that got stuck behind my ear, and there I am, I'm like sitting and doing my makeup, and I can feel something behind my ear, and I keep kind of jabbing at it going, and then I pull my hand out, and there's all these legs moving. I throw my towel off, and then the centipede drops, and I was like 16 when that happened, and I couldn't look at a centipede for years after that. Like my mom, when I told my mom this story when she got home, she screamed. She was like, "Oh my God, that's disgusting." I'm like, could you imagine that in my fucking hair, Mom? Like, I don't think I went to school that day. I was like, I'm not going to school. I was like terrified. I just like sat in the kitchen and ate food all day. I wouldn't go in the basement. Anyways, fun fact for you. Like, I'm not a huge fan of insects. I find them fascinating, but like behind glass. Because they bite. They fucking bite. And this thing's been biting you. That's what vampires do. They bite. Let's find out who this vampire is, okay? Because Scully opened up the box, okay? Your witness has laid the foundation down. Like, they've told the judge, they've told the witnesses, they've told their story, okay? They have had their day in court from the sounds of it, okay? Maybe that's why justice is there. They made their claim, they made their report, and now it's in the hands of justice. Oh, I just dropped a card. Oh, I dropped a card, and it was American. So, yeah, I do believe maybe your witness was American. But I want to know who this vampire is. So, this vampire is a 3 of Pentacles in reverse with a 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So, they've just been stealing money from you. Okay, this person's a thief. And they need to be locked up. And they're not. They're loose. They were locked up in a box with you, or locked you up in a box. So, they need to be locked up. And they're not. They're just running around. In your veins, there's the 6 of Cups, the 9 of Cups. Oh my God, there's America. Again, so not only could this person be American, but they also live in America. So the vampire's in America. 10 of Pentacles. They're situated somewhere in America. And they've been doing this, they've been fighting you for a very, very, very long time. So 5 of Wands, Ace of Swords, 7 of Pentacles. This has been something that they've been working on for a very long time. I also have Polish on the table. Okay, this person could be Polish. Nine of Cups also, though, in reverse with the 6 of Cups. I believe this person, they stole a lot of things that were meant for you. Okay, 9 of Cups. It's like they went into your head. Okay, which is very dangerous to do. Do not go into people's heads because you will not. I can almost guarantee you, if you go into somebody's head, I can almost guarantee you, the parking people are here. Someone's getting a parking ticket because they've been parked illegally. This person has been parked illegally, okay? Keeping you laying there, okay? That's what I'm getting. And they're getting their ticket now. So they have to pay their dues now, okay? So I feel like this person, they jumped into your head and they saw your wishes. And they went, I'm taking those. Who the fuck goes and takes somebody else's wishes? Like, you can't make up your own. Like, that doesn't, listen to how much that doesn't make sense. Like, this person is so backwards that they can't make up their own mind about what they wish for. So, because you had some shit locked down, clearly, let's get some information on you. You had something locked down, okay? You obviously knew what you wanted to do. Substance abuse in limbo. So I believe you kind of know how to control yourself. People could have said you were a substance abuser or assumed you were. You know what I've noticed? A lot of people just want to drink. Even in their 60s, 70s, 80s, all they want to do is drink and party and go out with their friends and recreate what they did in the past. And it's so find something else to do. Just going out drinking, going out. Even my parents, they never stop drinking. Well, we're having a fire with our friends tonight, or we're going drinking tonight, or we're going to bust out the whiskey tonight. I'm just why don't you just shut your fucking mouth and go to bed? Honestly, just fuck off. Because that's the thing is when people do that, when they're so hyped up on drinking with their friends and going out with their friends and living their life and doing what they want to do, it just kind of shows you how childish that person is, right? Because if you need alcohol that bad, right? If you need to substance abuse that badly, then there's something in your life that's not right. Okay, there's something that you're seriously not happy with. There's something in your life that you seriously don't want anymore, or that you outgrown and that you don't need anymore, but you just drink so you can make you happy. But drinking is not the happy pill. Drinking just gets you open and vulnerable around people, and then you start fighting. Because nobody is nice. That's the thing. In this city that I live in, everybody acts like they're so fucking polite, okay? Cross here, cross there. Oh, no, that's fine. But then, once that motherfucker crosses, or once that person makes the turn that everybody's waiting for, then they throw their fucking fingers up and they honk afterwards, and it's don't act like you're all patient and fucking preserved and just at chi when everybody turns around and you fucking lose it. Okay, yesterday, oh my God, test yourself sometimes. Yesterday, I had to do one of the biggest clean jobs of my life, okay, for work. And as I was starting, I spilt the entire coffee pot, grinds and all, because I was steeping my coffee. And I looked at it, I was in the middle of doing something, and I was only half done that project. And normally, the normal Whitney would go off. Oh my God, I gotta clean, I gotta do this, I gotta blah, 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 get all pissed off. But I was just I started laughing. I was so out of control for that moment that all I could do was laugh. And then I did one thing at a time and I went, wow, I've changed. Because when energy knows that it can feed off of you in a certain predicament where you usually freak out, it will put you in situations where energy is used to watching you freak out. Because that's all energy wants to do. Nasty energy wants to watch people lose it. I can see them pick fights with people. Like you can see these energies in between people that fuck with people to get them to fight. It's hilarious. If you take the anger out of you and really watch it, you can see how these little demons work between people and how they completely gaslight one person so then the other person takes over everything and dominates the situation. It's very easy to see. But if you outlive it and overcome it and realize that nobody has control of you, that if an accident happens. Clean it up when you get there. By the time I got to the coffee, it had seeped into the walls and under the floor, and I'm like, oh well. I'm not a fucking genie. I'm not a fucking shot vac. I can't just stop, drop, and just start sucking. I was in the middle of something else. Right? It's like, but if something knows that you panic, then I would have dropped what I was doing, started cleaning up that mess in the middle of doing the other mess, and then started a third mess. Right? So it's like, because people are they're used to just, and freaking out, right? Because that's if you were taught by your parent just to freak out, it really sucks because you might not be grounded very good, okay? And like, you'll find your grounding as you go, okay? And that's why, I think the substance abuse is there because it's something that you can do, but you don't do it because you get control of yourself before you feel like you've got to go chug a beer to deal with the situation. Like, I just quit smoking. And every time I got into a situation, I would go and have a smoke. And now I'm like, I just put my problem into the cigarette. I didn't deal with it. Right? It was as a way to calm down. Now I don't really need that calm down. And now I use that calm down instead of sharing it with a cigarette. I use that calm down with myself. Like I even had to smoke weed up until about a month ago. And now I'm like, okay, well, I'm not always going to have weed to deal with the situation. Right? So I got to learn to deal with this on my own. I can't panic all the time because I was born and raised in a panicked environment. I need to slow down. Right? Ice age, heat wave, can't complain. If the world's at large, why should I complain? Oh, that's Modest Mouse. Listen to Modest Mouse. Oh, it's so awesome. Yeah, so this person, if this is you coming up, you've been single for quite a long time, unable to move. Okay, which is why I did the Six of Swords. Because Six of Swords is all about moving on, but I blocked it. Okay, and then I wrote infatuation because sometimes when you're about to move, something blocks you so then you won't get out of their radar. So then they can keep sucking on you, right? So then you can't move on. And that could have forced somebody almost to start drinking, almost to start taking advantage of things again, because if you can't move in life yet you're trying to constantly move, eventually you just give up. You're like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I keep trying to move forward. Something clearly is stopping me because it's not your will that wants you to stay put. It's theirs. Oh, listen to World at Large. That's the song I'm getting right now from Modest Mouse. Bop, bop, baby, won't you understand? Oh, is this Float On? Won't you float on, baby, won't you understand? Bop, 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 bop. Anyways, Modest Mouse. Great. I love them. Yeah, they definitely kept you Two of Cups in reverse, so they've kept you single. I really think you've been single. And then we got Troy Dyer. And honestly, Troy is single his whole life because he's in love with his best friend. So he never dates anybody else because he always keeps himself available for his best friend. And then Nine of Swords. Ooh, you know what I got with this? I'm kind of getting with this card that like you might have, okay, yes, been single for a while. And anytime you do meet somebody, you start overthinking things. and then ruin it. That's what I'm getting. And that's to keep you single, right? Is to, like, for instance, I was talking to this guy once. He just kind of came out of nowhere, and we started chatting about my job. And something in the back of my head was saying right away, they were like, he's gay, he's gay, he's gay, he's gay. And he had really tight jeans on, but in a very soft voice, but there was nothing else that said he was gay. There was no radar on me whatsoever that said that guy was gay. And turns out, ended up giving me his number instantly. I called him, we hooked up. We had a great relationship. And when I put it together, after we had first met, I went, the reason why something was saying in my head that this person was gay was so then I sabotaged it and turned around and walked away. Right? Because then you think, well, why am I wasting my time talking to somebody? But when I strike up a conversation with somebody, I very rarely feel like I'm wasting my time. Right? Because a conversation is never a waste of time. It's always very intriguing to hear what somebody has to say, whether it's positive or negative, right? Like, human interaction is so important when it comes to stuff like that. Whether it's positive or negative, it really doesn't matter. So it's almost like you could have met people that were really good for you and then overthought it, overshot it, and then walked away, thinking that they weren't for you. Because this person wanted to keep you in their energy, because if you had been able to move on, they wouldn't have been able to suck off your energy. You've been in some severely bad luck. And I don't believe in luck, I believe in energy. So this puts you in severely bad energetic energy. Okay? And that's what has to stop now, because you're a good person and you don't deserve to be put in energy because somebody is jealous of you. Okay? And I made this little witch hat out of clay quite a while ago. And okay, it doesn't want to be looked at and examined, I guess, on the table. It's fine. It went into the oven, so it's not going to ruin. But I was just looking at how beautiful and how delicate it is. And I think that, clearly it's not that delicate because I just dropped it and nothing broke on it. But I'm going to take its privacy levels. I made little flowers on it and vines on it. And I put a lot of hard work into this. And I feel like that's the thing, is I feel like maybe that's your energy, is that you've put a lot of energy into yourself and a lot of beauty into yourself and all these little cracks and crannies, and somebody just took the best parts of you and then locked you away. So then you couldn't become more beautiful. So then you couldn't become really who you were because they wanted to take that essence. I think that's really what this is about, is somebody being able to steal your essence and wearing it on themselves as if they are you, and putting you into this disease-like state of being, right? Where you could have looked to people dead or very gray in the face, very drained, very lethargic, because they were taking all your energy. So then they could appear to be more beautiful than really what they are. I also made this, if you're wondering. I don't know why I all of a sudden put my clay pieces on display, but this is the Lonely Mountain from The Lord of the Rings. I put a big snake on it instead of a dragon. And I made this little forest beside it. And, yeah. There's like a little skull beach. Where's the skull? There it is. Made this little skull in the sand right there. Clay is so much fun. Like, look at it from the front. Like, clay is so much fun. Like, it really, and then you just put it in the oven and you cure it, and then you have it forever. And clay is just amazing. Like, it really helps you get to yourself. Like, it really helps you kind of discover yourself, and patience, and working with delicate things and becoming more delicate. That's really what I'm getting. Like, this whole hex could have made you very abrasive, very angry, very detached and away from people, and it's because somebody wanted to keep you to themselves. So you always found things wrong with others, and that's really going to change. So I really think it's like huge transformation coming in for somebody here, like huge transformation. Let's just see. I've got like 2 minutes Let's see what this transformation is. Like, I really want to see what's coming in for this person that has been hanging for so long. Oh, there's the Ace of Cups and the Moon in reverse. So see this card? How when it's upright, you know, all the cups are going into the darkness, right? But when it's reversed, the sun is here and then your one cup is standing, right? And that's this cup finally comes into you. And with the Moon in reverse, it's like all the illusions that you've been put in finally become clear. Because you're not allowed to be hidden from yourself forever, right? Like you have a soul for a reason, and you're supposed to have full access to your soul. And if somebody locked you away from your soul, which is your essence, then damn right there's going to be a lot of illusions around you. And as soon as that reverses, which I can already feel is reversing for you, that Ace of Cups comes back in. So that's like a cup of love. Like that's something like that is a partnership right there for somebody. And in the darkest of your days, the most brightest thing gets found. That's how I'm getting, because now all the illusions, you're out of the darkness, right? This is about 2 cards of darkness being gone now, right? And you stepping into the light, and that light is an Ace of Cups. Like somebody finally gets truly, honestly what they deserve. Oh my God, look at, there's the page. That's the offer right there. With the 3 of Wands, infinity. So this is something that is, I think, infinitely guided to you and for only you, and it is not for anybody else. And this is think outside the box. Like you've been in the box for so long that now you need to think infinity and beyond. This is Buzz Lightyear now. You have to be Buzz Lightyear, infinity and beyond. Like there is no stopping you now, Pisces. You can't stop, won't stop, can't quit, won't quit. Okay, and that's the aftermath of the storm that you survived. When you survive something like this, your life afterwards is never the same, and never should it be the same, because you're forever changed. So, wow, Pisces, incredible reading. I hope it helps. I'm your girl. Peace out. And love each other.